Good morning. It's Tanya Carvello, Territory Manager of FloraPlant Selecta 1 North America, and I'm here again today at Toronto Botanical Gardens for one last tour before we say goodbye to our first year of this beautiful trial garden. So we want to do a quick walkthrough. We know that things start to get a little bit tired towards the end of September into October. We've had cooler nights and some very heavy rain. So we're just going to go through and show you what's still thriving here in the gardens into this last week of September. In our first bed, we have the Beacon Impatient series from Pan American Seed. This was an introduction to help solve kind of an issue that came up with the impatiens. They were getting downy mildew across the globe, and Pan American Seed has produced this genetic called Beacon that is resistant to downy mildew. And looking here at this bed now that was planted the 4th week of May, there is absolutely zero mildew in this garden bed. It's thriving, beautiful color. We've showcased 3 colors of the beacons here this year, and there's more colors coming in the pipeline. So downy mildew resistant impatiens, Beacon definitely a winner this year. Next, I'm going to go into this bed. This bed is kind of what I've been calling the sky garden all season. We've got Angelonia, 3 different colors in the center of the bed. We've got the Glacier Sky Petunia and the Verbena Beets White. So the petunias are starting to look a little tired with the cool temps and the rain, but the Angelonia, I'm going to step out of the way here. The Angelonia is still thriving. This is a summer performer, pollinator-friendly plant. We've got a blue bicolor, a blue, and a white in this garden. So Angelonia definitely, as you can see, will take you right into October here in southern Ontario. Next, I love the vibrancy of this bed. We started the bed, we edged it with a flamethrower coleus, and we've watched it transition to this golden tone over the summer. It's called Salsa Verde, and at the beginning when we planted it, it was a chartreuse green. So you can really see how the summer has given it more tonal of the goldenrod color. Next, the bee's knees is starting to get very, very tired here at the end of September. The cooler nights and rain have really wreaked havoc on it, but it performed right up until about 2 weeks ago. And in the center of the bed, we have a pollinator plant. This is a new series for FloraPlant. This is the Shamrock Lantana series. There's lots of bees in here. You can see them. I've got 4 colors in this bed. I've got the rose, the peach, the orange, and the white. Great big, beautiful balls of lantana. So just gorgeous. And as the backdrop to this bed, we put in our Roman red salvia, which is highly fragrant, and the hummingbirds have been feasting on this for the last 6 weeks. The amount of photographers here has been just incredible, taking pictures of the hummingbirds back here with this beautiful salvia. Gorgeous. If you turn, Jenny, in front of the greenhouse, I'll walk around. You can see our dahlia bed, and we stretched the dahlias the entire length of the greenhouse. And we do have a couple new introductions in here. My favorite is this new neon City Lights dahlia. It's a very vibrant, rich fuchsia color with a dark foliage. And then I was talking to a photographer here this morning, and he commented that his favorite plant here this year has been the City Lights orange, which is a very dark, rich orange color, again, on the dark foliage. So that's City Lights orange. We have in total about 10 different varieties in the dahlia bed, all performing beautifully right now. There's no mildew in this bed, tons and tons of bees, and it's been a very big showpiece here. Lots of photographers enjoying these dahlia blooms this year. Opposite the greenhouse is our last bed. I took this bed to introduce 4 of our new coleus, and then as a backdrop, we've got our purple and bloom salvia. So the bees and the hummingbirds have been loving this salvia as well. And the response from the photographers here this year has been, plant more, give us more salvia. In front of the salvia, I planted the limewire coleus, which is a 2022 introduction. So you will see this in your garden centers next year. And in front of that is the Vulcan. The Vulcan has a rich red with fuchsia highlights in it. And then we come into Copperhead. This is an award-winning coleus, beautiful rusty color with the serrated edge and the chartreuse. And then last but not least is the new Spitfire coleus. This is our first introduction into a micro coleus. It is extremely dense. Makes a beautiful little ball habit, so you can put it as an edging in your landscape or in smaller containers. And you can see it's just continuing to push up new frond type leaves here, and gorgeous right into the end of September. As we wrap around into the kind of main feature coleus area, this has been my piece de la resistance, my favorite part of the trial garden all summer, just for the simple wow factor. You know, it's not always about the bloom. This foliage, it has created so much conversation here in the gardens. So come on in and join me in here. We have, you can see all of these coleus here. I have no flower heads on any of the coleus. They are starting to get a little bit tired from the heavy rains, but even with the cooler nights, they're still performing beautifully. We have rich oranges and rusts here, like in our Inferno. We have Dragonheart behind it, which is just absolutely stunning. This was an award-winning plant last year at a botanical garden here in Canada. I have Indian Summer, which is perfect and apropos for this time of year. You've got burgundies and greens and golden yellows in here. Campfire in the back, which is still pushing out rich orange foliage, absolutely beautiful. Trusty Rusty is in this circle bed here. I've got Electric Lime, which is that pop of chartreuse. And of course, Redhead, which everybody has been commenting on this year as I come to the trial gardens. A lot of people walking through the gardens have asked me about these coleus. This is Henna, beautiful burgundy undertones here, still performing fantastic. Of course, Wasabi. Wasabi is just this massive ball of chartreuse, absolutely beautiful. And if we go into the very back here into the raised beds, I'm very excited about this area because you kind of visualize what it's going to look like in your head, but to see it come to fruition has been amazing. We had trellis beds already here, and we decided to leave them and enhance them with the Solar Tower potato vine, Ipomea, which is available in a black heart and in green. And they have climbed and thrived, and they are just cascading all over the front of this raised bed. And I did mix it in with a yellow Thumbergia on this left-hand side of the archway, and on the right-hand side, I mixed in a orange Thumbergia. So absolutely beautiful black backdrop. So impressed with how it has climbed. I think this is an amazing focal point. In the two raised beds in front of this trellis, we have Big Bounce Impatiens from Selecta, One North America here. These are huge. These are absolutely stunning. And for the weather we've had and the severe thunderstorms, these things are just thriving. And then in front of it, we have the regular Bounce Impatiens. And the cool thing about these from Selecta is that these were bred for the average gardener that travels or works all day, doesn't remember to water their garden. These can actually get dried down to the point where you think, oh, I've killed them, they're dead, that's it. You give them a quick water and they bounce right back up to look like this. So very good for the beginner gardener. Very good plants. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us this summer for our first ever trial gardens at the Toronto Botanical Garden. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be planning next year's trial beds. And thank you all, and can't wait to see you next summer.